Welcome back, everybody, to the Rooted Lifestyle Podcast. We are your hosts, Camryn and Justus Woods.
Welcome back, everyone. Big news for this week's episode. We have officially completed the WHOLE30.
Thank goodness. Honestly, round of applause. If we had an audience,
I'll clap for myself. Yeah, we don't have a live studio audience here, so soon. Yeah, we have a couple inquiries about live studio audience, so maybe we'll get that soon. But
maybe so.
We have officially completed the WHOLE30 on
February 2nd.
February 2nd.
Yep.
And I am excited because I missed food so much.
Oh, so you're excited for it to be over?
Well, I am happy about the benefits that it brought, but also like just in terms of my own like taste buds. I can't eat potatoes and eggs, and
we literally ate eggs and potatoes earlier today. You're so fake for
that.
You're so fake for that.
I'm super fake crap. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I know what you mean. You're glad that it's over because it was really hard. If you guys have ever done the WHOLE30 before, and we'll get into the nitty gritty of what it is and everything, but if you've done it before, you understand. It is very hard. You have to stay very disciplined and all of that good stuff. So I understand.
Yeah. And I know we had briefly mentioned it. We did an episode a while back about diets. We've probably mentioned the WHOLE30 numerous times throughout this process because we love it so much.
Yes.
And I think this episode will be catered more around, we're going to dive into what we actually felt during the days, like how we felt, why we did it. Kind of the outcome from it, the benefits,
the benefits. We didn't like.
Yeah. So we're going to be real about it. The parts we didn't like, because like anything, the WHOLE30 has its problems. But I think overall, we're very happy that we did it, and we still see the benefits right now. And I am still happy that we're off though, because
we can live life.
We just had a bunch of pizza yesterday with friends,
and
so good. It was incredible.
It was so good. But so you guys may or may not know that Justus and I have both done it before, but it was separate. Did you do it on your own?
So I did a whole 14 or whole 15. I remember it was around Valentine's Day, and I was going to go visit you. So I was like, I'll do it up to the point of Valentine's Day. So it was like I started like the January 31st or February 1st.
Why?
And then I went to the 15th.
Why did you do it then?
14th. Huh?
Why did you do it then?
I told you it was the inflammation in my Achilles and my foot. I was dealing with a lot of Achilles tendonitis.
That's a big word.
And you're the one who actually suggested that I try to fix my diet to help. And it did. And
anything is better than nothing. Yeah. So a whole 14 is better than a whole 0.
Exactly. So
that's awesome. And then I did it another time a couple of years ago back in college. Myself and my parents did it when I was home during the summer for 30 days. And it was awesome. Ever since then, I've been like an advocate for the WHOLE30. But I've learned a lot because I've tried to do it twice since then, and I failed. So we'll give you guys some tips and tricks on like how to actually do it and how to like push through all of that good stuff. But this time we did.
Yeah, we did it. And I think it's partly because we have each other's like accountability, and definitely having someone. I know that we went to restaurants and we had to order food that we wouldn't have ordered otherwise.
Gosh, you guys, I have to tell you this really quick.
Wait, we could tell them later on as we go.
Oh my gosh, okay.
We don't want to give all the good stuff before we tell.
Okay, I understand.
Well, let's start by
what is the WHOLE30?
Giving a brief summary of what the WHOLE30 is for those of you who don't know, because if you don't know, then you're probably like, what the heck are these people?
Yeah, these people are crazy. I'm not going to listen to it. No, it's so good and it's so rich. Yeah. So the WHOLE30 is also called the elimination diet. So you are on this very strict diet, eliminating all types of sugars.
I'm liking these hand motions.
Grains.
You're like,
okay, so when my nails are done,
you're doing
I talk with my hands.
It's the elimination diet.
Also, I look so Valentine-y and I'm loving it. I did it on purpose. I have red nails and a pink outfit.
Before we go back to the elimination diet piece,
what are you about to say?
Do husbands need to ask their wives every year to be their Valentine?
Yes.
Or boyfriends have to ask their girlfriends?
Yes. Yeah, and
I think it's just implied.
The 12th, and you haven't asked
implied.
me. No, it's not. Okay, that's a story for another
time.
Do
I have to ask to like enter into our apartment? No, because it's just like ours.
That's not like showing love or like expressing your love to me. Asking me to be your Valentine is expressing love to me. Expressing that you still want to be with me.
So if I don't do it, then you know that something's wrong and our relationship is in turmoil.
Okay, guys. Sorry.
Going back to
that was bad on you. You really led us astray. You're the one who always reels me back in. Okay,
Thank you for reeling us back in.
I got you.
Continue. The elimination diet.
Elimination diet. So you are getting rid of all sugars, toxins, basically anything that is not Whole foods. So no grains, no legumes, no sugar,
no gluten,
no processed
dairy,
foods, no dairy, no alcohol.
So that just basically leaves you with vegetables, meat, and potatoes.
And we ate that every single day.
And we
spiced it up a little bit.
You could do fruit. You said like one thing of fruit a day.
Yeah, like 1 cup of fruit a day. But we honestly didn't.
We didn't do. I did bananas for when I worked out.
Because your body sees it as still a sugar addiction, so you can't eat too much.
The fructose in it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually so crazy, like talking about why the Whole30 and like why to do it and stuff. It's crazy the way that your body sees all of that. But yes, so that's what you do for 30 days.
So why 30 days? And we kind of, we did some research about this. And I think basically the 30-day point is that's how much time it takes for your body to completely eliminate a specific food.
Yes.
And
honestly, I think it takes 1 or 2 months to build a habit. And so it's really good to show yourself like, oh, I can eat this way. Like, this is good for me. I feel good, blah, 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 blah. So I think it takes that long to build a habit.
Because it's technically like 45 days where it's like the first 30 days you're eliminating those foods from your body. And then the 15 days you slowly introduce it back into your body to see where the, allergies or intolerances may lie. But we did not reintroduce for 15 days after.
We did like 5.
We did a 5-day reintroduction. We did a quick reintroduction.
We did. And honestly, we discovered stuff. So it wasn't a waste. It definitely wasn't a waste.
I'm not saying it was.
But I would say if you haven't done the Whole30 before, stick to the 30 days and then really push yourself to try to do the 45 just to get the most benefit out of it. Like, I feel like I already know what kind of triggers my body. And we'll get into why I did it this time later. But I feel like it's a good thing to always just like rehash. Okay, like this year, this didn't bother me, but last year it did. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, you found something out that I'm excited to tell these people about.
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah,
you reintroduce.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's start from the beginning back to our why. I think that one tip I will tell you guys is if you're going to do the Whole30, you have to know your why. Because if you're just going into it being like, awesome, I'm going to lose weight, that's why I'm doing it. Okay, sorry, you're going to be miserable. Like, that is not, I don't think, a big and deep enough why. Because if that's your goal, just go on like the keto diet or something. Like,
yeah, I would make, like, if it's weight loss that you're looking for, like long term, like weight loss that sticks, don't do an elimination diet, do a lifestyle diet that you'll keep throughout your life.
Because you are not supposed to do the Whole30 past those 45 days. Like, it is not a lifestyle because it is so intense on the body.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind. But why did we do it? Why did you do it, Justus?
I did it to get shredded.
That's literally what he told people. Like, I'm not kidding. And that is why.
No, it's partly the reason
we just said if your reason was weight loss, you shouldn't do it. And then he said to get shredded.
No, I use that as a joke, but I think really my reason is, partly one to support you, but then also for me, like I also just love like health, and I also love fitness. I love identifying things and new things that I didn't know about my body. So it's like, doing an elimination diet. I don't know why I'm having trouble with my words.
Words are so hard today.
An elimination diet, it helps me to identify things that may be in my diet that I don't really, need to be putting in. So it's like not even only for like, outward health, but inward digestive gut health as well. So, it's always good to just reset your body because, granted, we do have a pretty healthy, diet that we stick to, but we could always slip into patterns of like eating sugar every night. I eat too much rice and stuff. And it's kind of good to reset your body because you come back and you're like, oh, like, how did I ever eat this stuff and do this stuff like before? Because
honestly, if you're eating the same food every single day, let's say rice, let's say you ate rice every single day for either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or all three, you're not going to realize necessarily that it's bothering you. You're just going to be like, wow, I'm always bloated, or wow, I feel sluggish, or wow, I'm really tired. But you will never be able to pinpoint that it's the rice until you do something like this. So it's so cool, the knowledge that you gain from doing it. Yeah. And
it's cool to, like you said before, the knowledge of understanding there may be some new intolerances and it's things that could develop too. It's maybe it wasn't an issue before, but now that it is, and it's just helping my body to be as efficient and as, optimal as possible. And I think that in and of itself, we've seen the results of that. And I think it's something that I want to, continue to do.
Absolutely. So that's Justus's why. And then I did it because I think I've said on here before, like, you guys know that I've struggled with eczema on and off. It used to be really bad in high school, got kind of bad in college. And I haven't had it for the past 2 years, like ever. And then randomly, I have been getting it all over both of my wrists, which has been, I would say it was chronic. It has been chronic for like 8 months now. 8 months? 5.
Since like
October.
September. I was going to say like September.
September, October. However many months that is. And it has just gotten to the point where I would stay up at night itching it, and it was burning, and it was so uncomfortable, and it was horrible. So I was like, Justus, in the past, I have fixed my eczema from fixing my gut, because eczema, unless it's like, what's that called when you touch something? Like a topical allergy? What's that word?
I don't know.
Transdermal? No. Oh, dang it. I don't know.
I don't know the word.
I don't know either. I'm upset with myself. Unless it's like, okay, I touch metal and I'm allergic to metal and I get eczema from it. Eczema comes from your gut. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So like it is a gut issue. It stems from your gut, and that is why I was going to do it, because I was like, I know if I can fix the gut lining, get out all inflammation, then hopefully the inflammation coming out on my wrist will finally go away. So yeah, that's why I did it. Also, like Justus said, a good reset, but mainly for the inflammation markers of, I just want to reset. I want the inflammation out of my face. I really gain inflammation weight in my face. Like I just puff up. So hopefully that's gone. But yeah, so that's my why.
Nice. So we're going to go now into a bit of
Our experience.
Our day-to-day experience. And it's really interesting. You could either buy the book or look on the website, but the Whole30 has, you were going to say something.
I was, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but if you were watching the video, you could see that I was like, I was going to say tip number 2 would be, wait, what was tip number 1? Dang it. Tip number 1, was it your why?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
we'll just
I
go
don't
with
know,
that.
babe. I don't think it was.
Just say the next tip.
Okay, tip number 2 or 3, I'm not sure, is to buy the Whole30 book. Game changer. You can get it off Amazon, Target, literally anywhere, Barnes & Noble. Buy the Whole30 book, because there's something about having an actual tangible book that you can carry and like flip through the pages, read what you're supposed to be going through, get ideas for meals, all of that stuff. So that's tip number 2 or 3.
We don't have the book though.
I do in Charlotte. And the first time I did the Whole30, I read that book every single day.
Yeah.
So we're like reading the online version of that book right now to see how well what you're supposed to go through, quote unquote, lined up with what we went through.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Should we say how we felt first before we read, and then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great idea.
Yes. Tell me how you felt the first week, days 1 through 7.
So let's start with day 1. You're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. This is awesome. Honestly, for me, my eczema was so freaking bad that I was like, I don't even care if it's the most bland food I eat in the whole world. I'm doing it. Day 1, you're like, yes, this was awesome. You're kind of hungry, which is not the goal. We needed to eat more potatoes, but you're kind of hungry. Actually, you're starving, low key, for like the first 3 days, because my body at least was adjusting to like the huge shift. I just come off of Christmas of drinking almost every single day, and like New Year's, and sugar and sugar and sugar. So my body had to do a huge adjustment, and I think that was really hard. So days 1 through 7, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of hungry, and I would go to bed and I would look forward to my cup of coffee in the morning, because I was like, I'm so unsatisfied.
Yeah.
I would say the first week I was unsatisfied.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would agree. I would say I was starving, and because, you know,
horrible.
No, it's true. Cause it's like, you're so used to having all these carbs and stuff that give you energy, especially like before working out. You know, I would used to eat like rice cake with honey and, either almond butter or peanut butter. And then I just ate a banana. Like it's a completely different thing. I mean, yes, banana has like a good amount of carbs in it, but not compared to like a rice cake and stuff. So
I will say another reason that we were starving is because we worked out the same hardness, if not harder, than before starting the Whole30, which is not what you were supposed to do. I had to do it because of my job, and then Justus was doing it because he's training for something exciting in the next couple of weeks.
The rim to rim to rim. Shout out to the boys. We will be traveling to the Grand Canyon.
But he's like,
last weekend of February.
Work out and run. You started
6
running.
6 boys, 3 rims, 1 job.
I really can't believe you just pulled out that line on our podcast. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, how else did you feel the first week? Tired? Hungry?
Yes, I felt...
It's hard. It's a hard week.
I felt just fatigued. I felt like nothing satisfies you, I would say. Because, you know, the beginning stage is like you're changing over from your old habit to the new one. And then you just literally can't like you can't have the stuff that you used to have. So it's not only just an elimination of those things, but also you're just eating like more bland food.
It's boring. Let's be honest.
No sugar. You like, you have like if you have a sweet tooth and you were feeding that before and you completely cut that out, like nothing is going to satisfy that sweet tooth outside of sugar. So it was very, very hard the first week, I would say. But the WHOLE30, this is from their website. They call the first 7 days the adaptation phase. And essentially, it's kind of a mix of, on like the positive side, you're like what we were saying, you're excited about getting started. You're ready to go. You're looking forward to the results. You're motivated. Exactly. But the challenging parts are like they said you often experience headaches, fatigues, crankiness and cravings commonly. And you may feel like you're thinking a lot about food, which is what I thought a lot about food.
And if you think about it, it's kind of, you're literally you're going through withdrawal.
Yeah.
Fructose can be like a drug in your body.
Yeah, it's addictive.
And you are literally removing that. You're going through withdrawal. So no wonder we have headaches, we're cranky, we're moody, all of these things. So it makes sense. And people, I think, see this and hear this and they're like, why would you ever do that? That sounds horrible. And it's like, no, what we're putting in our body is horrible all the time.
The abrupt decrease in added sugar and processed carbs can leave you feeling lethargic, headachy, and brain foggy until your metabolism adjusts, which is what I was saying. It's like, we felt a different sense, I feel like, of tired and like fogginess than what we did before.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I thought was really interesting, what they said about the first week, is that your digestion could also be impacted.
Yes.
Because like the less sugar, more fiber, more healthy proteins, fats, you may experience bloating, constipation, or loose stools as your gut adjusts and learns to process these new foods more effectively.
TMI, I didn't experience that. The first time I did WHOLE30, I was really constipated, but this time I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were more.
I was more.
Yeah,
I was
because you weren't taking pre-workout.
I wasn't taking. I was taking a 350 milligram caffeine booster before I worked out. So
that's horrible.
But yeah, it does. And it's funny because you're thinking, oh, WHOLE30, like I'm trying to, like, I don't know, it'll help my gut, it'll make me feel lighter and stuff, and then it's like part of the first week is you could feel bloated.
Yeah, it's confusing, and people get very discouraged. But like, if you read the book and you understand what's going on, you won't be discouraged.
It's a total adjustment of your body.
It is. So days 8 through 14, do you remember those days? How you felt? The adoption phase.
I think like that phase is a little bit. It feels easier than I think the first week, but
also harder.
Also harder in the sense of like you're not even halfway. So it's like you're like, dang, like you're getting used to it. I feel like, okay, like the cravings may stop, but it's just like you get bored in the routine of it. And it's like it's just like a lot to deal with, eating the same thing every day for like a week. I will say though, it did help to have the WHOLE30 meals sent to us because we had said this on our podcast earlier. I forgot which episode, but basically this is the first year WHOLE30 came out with meals that they can send to you. The prepackaged ones. So we did a 12-pack, all different foods. And that was a lifesaver, especially for work. We didn't have to make all this, WHOLE30 approved food. All we had to do is microwave it and then bring it to work with us. So that was a big game changer.
Huge.
But I would just say I just felt like still in a fog, honestly. I was just like,
you were working a lot. Your hours were late and you were working out. I feel like our bodies were just really going through it in the sense of that withdrawal and trying to adapt and adopt the new things. And also because we were so busy, the food that we did for breakfast and lunch was the same and it was boring. It's not supposed to be boring and you're not supposed to be starving. So honestly, our experience is not what yours should be. But we still did it because we knew our why and we knew how to get there and we knew that it was sustainable for 30 days. Yeah. So if that makes any sense. But yeah, I would say day 8 through 14, I would say it's kind of the same as the first week. You're kind of still motivated, but I would say the third week is like.
The first week, the second week, I would say it says here for like, on the positive side, you still may be adjusting to the new way of eating, but things may start to feel better. End of the week, you may notice you're falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, waking up with more energy. I wouldn't necessarily say that I woke up with more energy.
Because you were killing your body all day.
Because I was working out. I was like working for a while. So I don't think I woke up with more energy. I think honestly throughout the day I might have had more energy, but like still that morning energy is not. It says, as your taste buds adjust, you discover newfound appreciation for the sweetness of a strawberry or sweet potato.
So true.
I remember there was one time when I was like, I just wanted something sweet, and I literally ate like a tub, not a tub. I just had like a couple of spoonfuls of almond butter, and it's not even sweet. It's just like something.
Good. It's savory. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but yeah, I would definitely say the sleeping. I feel like I got better sleep, or I would fall asleep faster.
Really?
Because I think when you go to bed, we've been eating late recently, which has not been great. I know that's really bad for your digestion, but like it's just the way that work is working out and stuff like that. And so I think being on the Whole30 allowed us to get like 3 hours before bedtime of like our food is digesting. And so going to sleep was more comfortable for me and just more enjoyable. So I would say that definitely helped because I wasn't snacking at night or eating too late, which is really nice. Yeah, but some of the cautions.
It said that it may take longer to notice changes in chronic conditions like joint pain, swelling, acne, eczema, or fatigue. So which can be discouraging.
Yes,
I think that's way to sum it up. Is like you go through the first full week and then it's like, oh, you're expecting change immediately, and then you don't see anything, and you're like, oh, like I feel like crap. Like why am I doing this? I don't want to eat. I want to eat what I want. Which is why days 10 and 11 are technically called the hardest days because they're statistically most likely for you to quit the Whole30. But you can be like impatient, anxious about whether or not it's worth it, or like tempted to self-sabotage yourself during the process.
Yeah. I don't remember which week it was during, but I texted Justus and I was like, I want to cheat so bad. Oh, I think it was the first day he went into the office.
Yeah.
I think it was like day 4.
day one, like, hour 3.
Justus, I want to cheat because we hit all the chocolate chips up on the top.
Not
cabinet.
on me, on the diet.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay. No, you're right. No, wait, you're right. Wait, sorry. That sounded like I was... We need to edit that out.
What?
I don't know. That sounded like I was like...
No, you were not agreeing with me.
Right. It sounded like I wasn't agreeing with you.
For those, she's not agreeing with me. She was...
I'm confused now.
Let's just go back to the other days. Okay.
Third week. Smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. I would
agree. Sort of.
I would say like the last week is like smooth sailing. I would say this week.
What? No. We're like
I would say
counting down the days of the last week.
The third week was like, that's true. I guess so. Cause you like get into a routine. You've been without sugar and sweets long enough that you're
you don't have cravings anymore.
That you don't have the same amount of cravings, and you know, you're used to eating the same stuff every single day. So I would say there's like a form of smooth sailing.
I think I was pretty frustrated that week because my eczema was like still just as bad. And I was at the end of the third week and I was like, why? Like I'm doing all this for nothing. But I know that gut issues and skin issues can take up to 2 months to heal. So I just had to deal with that and just stick with it and hope for the best.
I think it's like where they say smooth sailing is you start to build a form of self-confidence associated with it and like feeling like you're capable.
Yeah.
And that you've like made it this far and that you can make it through the end because it's past the halfway point. So you're like, okay, I'm almost there.
Right.
So I think that's where kind of, you know, like the positivity stuff comes in. But, you know, in terms of the cautions, like there's like small gradual improvements, but at the same time, like you may not see like what you said before, you may not still see the results that you wanted, which could help you to get more discouraged. Yeah.
But it makes sense, guys. If you think about it, you start working out for 2 weeks, you don't see immediate weight loss in 2 weeks. You know, like it definitely takes time.
Yeah.
And building habits take time. So I understand the process and I had you to help me through it.
Yeah.
So like if I didn't have you to help me through it, that's tip number 3, have someone doing it with you.
We don't know the first 2, but the third one is.
What was the first one?
What was the second one?
To buy the book. Yeah. It was buy the book number 1 and number 2.
No, number 2 was buy the book.
I'm like staring at those Oreos over there.
What's tip number 3?
To have an accountability partner. I promise I'm normally better at this. Today my brain is like down in the gutter.
Yes, and it said that this is the point where food can start, like food boredom starts to set in, and that's another piece. It's like if you see another egg, oh my gosh, I feel like I was so sick of eggs, even though we eat them every day. There was just something about it though when you don't have anything else like really to like change that up. I feel like I don't know. But
wait, the funny thing is, since we've been on the Whole30, we've still eaten eggs every day.
I know we ate eggs every day before the Whole30, and then we did add a tortilla, and it's like the sauces and stuff. I don't know.
Pancakes. That sounds so
Well,
good.
that's not a part of what we were talking about.
Sorry.
But yes, we can have
a breakfast
pancakes.
food. Okay.
But yes, you get in a rut. But going back to what you said about the accountability partner.
Yeah.
It's very important because
Tip number 3 or 4. TBD.
You don't remember. Because I know we had mentioned earlier in the podcast about how did we manage this while going out, because we've had friends who've done the Whole30 and we went to their house. We had like an amazing, it was like a Whole30 Caesar salad with steak and shrimp.
And then someone else made us a Whole30 meal, remember?
And someone else made us a Whole30 meal. Yeah. So we've had Whole30 meals with friends and their homes, but we also went out. And that was like literally the most frustrating thing ever.
Okay, can I tell? This is my sad story. This is the story I wanted to tell you guys in the beginning, and Justus wouldn't let me because it's like a big reveal.
Yeah.
So you guys know that Mexican food is literally my favorite food. Give me a margarita all day, every day, right? So one of my best friends that I work with, Justus and I have hung out with her and her husband frequently, and we like love them, whatever. It was her birthday. And all of her friends were coming to this cute little Mexican restaurant in Dallas. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go, but like I want to celebrate her so badly. But the thought of being around chips, queso, guac, we can have guac, but I'm not going to like eat it with a spoon. Chips, queso, guac, fajitas and butter and margaritas and frozen margaritas and everything. I was like, I don't think I can do it. But Justus and I predetermined, obviously we're not going to cheat. We're going to go, we're going to celebrate her. We're going to have fun. Let me tell you, that was really difficult. It was so hard. It was the only time we did it, really. I mean, we went to someone's house and they had like candy and everything, but that didn't really tempt me. I was just hungry.
I was starving, so it did tempt
hungry.
me. They had chips, they had popcorn there, they had candy. So
Yeah.
we went that day. We went to Chelsea Corner and played games with friends, and they all
But we
ordered
had a
like
great
burgers and stuff like that. And
we had a salad, a harvest bowl.
we had a harvest bowl salad, and then we went to Mexican, and the guy actually had to like special make. He literally came from the between the kitchen into us saying, "Can you have this food? Can you have this food?" He like built a salad for us, which was incredible because they didn't have any salads or anything on the menu. It was one of those Mexican places that like only had tacos.
Yeah.
But they literally built us a salad with a base of Brussels sprouts. And then we went to another friend's house for a game night, and they had like all these things. They had like cookies, they had popcorn, they had
so we set ourselves up for
So,
failure, honestly, because we went from starving to starving.
Exactly.
To two places that we can't eat things.
But like you said before, having accountability, like we didn't break it. We stuck to it. You know, we still had fun, and it's definitely possible. But it's like definitely have somebody to hold you accountable, because when you're in that setting, it's super easy to do it.
And so also tip number 4 or 5, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to give you guys options here. I would definitely say, just because you're on the Whole30, don't allow yourself to not go be with people. Like, I definitely think it's hard to be like, okay, like we're going to Mexican, let's go. You could invite them over to your place and then you could cook dinner, or like say, bring your own dinner, let's eat at our place, whatever. I definitely don't think you should remove yourself from other people just because of your diet. I think that can get into a really unhealthy habit, and that's making you just more miserable throughout this whole process. And that's just not the goal at all. So I think that I'm really proud of us for doing that and being willing to do that, because it is very hard. You just have to go with predetermined decisions of like, okay, I'm not cheating. This is exactly what I'm going to order. Look at the menu before, talk to your waiter or waitress, and you can do it. It's literally only an hour or two, and then you did it, and you should be proud of yourself for sticking with it. So
yeah. And so the last week is called the home stretch, days 22 through 30.
Counting down those days.
This is a point where people lose track of what day they're on. I would agree with that. It feels like second nature, like, you know, doing all the meal prepping, all the eating. And this, I felt like I ate those like pre-made meals like my whole life.
Yeah.
Like literally, I felt, because we ordered so many of them. But I would say that this week was the easiest, of course, because it's like, you know, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
You felt good.
You start to actually see some of the results. Like, I know for you, your eczema has gotten a lot better. Like you feel, we were talking about at the end of the week how we felt like lighter. We felt just healthier, better overall. I honestly was saying, like, mixing with like the exercise that I was doing with the Whole30, like I've never felt healthier in my life. So,
and like you could still lift heavy.
Yeah.
Because I think people see this as like, oh, you're going to lose so much muscle and everything. And it's like, no, I'm still eating like whole foods. I'm eating so much protein and I'm eating so many vegetables. Like, I can still gain muscle and still gain healthy weight. And I don't think either of us really weighed ourselves, but I know that I lost inflammation weight. I can just tell. Like, I'm not
And
puffy.
people have told you that.
Yeah. They're like, oh, your muscles are just like showing. more vibrantly now.
But this is the point of the last week is when people like, oh, like 28 days are as good as or close enough to 30. So you start to think of like the reintroduction phase of like, as soon as the moment that it's over, I'm just going to drink a beer. I'm going to
do whatever,
do whatever. And I think that's kind of where you get into the trap of like, hold on, like there's still some form of reintroduction. Granted, we did not do the full reintroduction. So we're not going to claim and say that we did, but we did, I would say for about 5 to 7 days, we did like a slower reintroduction.
Like one of my best friends literally came into Dallas that weekend. Like that was hard.
Yeah.
And we like went out every single day. I only had like 2 drinks though that weekend, I think. I don't know.
Somebody said you said the reintroduction of Whole30 was like, you can have beans, you have lentils and alcohol.
Okay, stop. So in the book, it talks about reintroduction,
and alcohol is the first thing you can reintroduce. You can have beans now. Oh, and you can also have a shot of tequila.
No, stop it. I'm trying to see if I had the book, I could tell you what it said, but dang it.
There's no way I believe that.
I took a picture of it. I literally have a picture of it on my phone because I took it from Olivia's book, and I was like, hold up. Okay, you keep talking, and I'll try to find it.
But she was saying that the reintroduction part of Whole30, there's like these phases that you go through to get to the 45 days. So like the 15 days after the Whole30, and you slowly start to reintroduce food groups into it. So you put one food group in, you do it for a couple of days, and you see if your body reacts. Like let's say the first food group is dairy. So we put dairy back into our diet, but everything else we keep at Whole30 for a couple of days, and then we see if it changes our body. But she's saying that alcohol is the first thing that you put back into your body. But if you have seen our alcohol podcasts or any other alcohol podcast, you would know that
I'm also laughing because when did I say that? You just put those words straight into my mouth, honey.
I'm sorry. Tip number 7 or 8. I can't remember.
I'm sad I can't find this picture.
Anyways, it's fine.
So reintroduction, what is the first thing that you reintroduced? Do you remember?
Pre-workout, I think.
Wow.
It's because I went over my friend's house when we do our nightly run, and he gave me some of their pre-workout. So.
And an Oreo.
Yeah, they gave me and they tried to give me this weird candy, which was like, I don't even know what was in it. It was really gross. I ate some of it, but.
Okay, so Justus didn't reintroduce.
That was a week after that was like the weekend after.
Night.
No, that was like the weekend after the whole. Actually, that was the first night.
That's why I just said the weekend after was last week.
That was the first night.
I remember you came home and I was like,
I didn't. I had like one Oreo in like a little cup of pre-workout. I didn't have a full scoop and stuff, but
yeah, whatever.
But anyway,
the first thing I reintroduced, thanks for asking, was a margarita.
Just gonna drink my Stanley.
Yeah, you drink your Stanley. Was a margarita, and I just couldn't have been happier.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I was honestly at that point, I was just tired of eating turkey sticks, beef sticks. What are we need beef sticks.
Chomped turkey sticks.
I was tired of eating all of those things.
I think that moral of the story, it is so much dedication, so much hard work, so much prep, so much determination, and it's exhausting. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So let's talk about some things that made it worth it.
I would say that just doing hard things in general is like worth it.
Yeah.
For your body.
Stretching
and I know people have talked about the Andrew Huberman podcast where like there's this portion of your brain that grows only when you do hard things, and they found out there's a correlation between like the size of that part of your brain and the people who tend to live longer, that part of their brain is larger. So it's like basically saying that like doing those hard things helps like keep your brain stimulated and leads to longevity. But I think doing hard things is something that we should all try to do. And just because it seems hard doesn't mean it's not doable. So I would say that it was very rewarding in the sense of that we found like when I went back to eating again, that's the thing that you want me to bring up.
Back to eating.
Back to eating like regular food again.
It's like you were always
I started eating rice again, and I was like, oh my gosh, my stomach is killing me.
You couldn't handle it.
I like almost threw up, and I was like, I can't handle it as much, and now I can't eat as much rice as what I used to. So
yeah,
and it's like it's not only like eliminating these foods just to say like, oh, like because I want to lose weight and stuff, but just like for your digestion. Like I feel like my digestion is a lot better I feel like my digestion was pretty unhealthy before.
I agree. You go to the bathroom
I went like all the time. So
I
feel like I feel more like regular now. My stomach, I'm not in as much like, I'm not in the full state of like they completely, I feel like sick to my stomach whenever I finish eating. And it's just, I just feel lighter and better and more just like, healthy.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that for me, the things that I loved coming off of it was just like, obviously the way that I feel. I was great with the way that I looked before, but now I'm like, oh, like it's so nice to see hard work paying off.
Yeah.
Inflammation, weight, obviously I love seeing that not there anymore. Just like the roundness of my face, my eczema is getting better. In a weird way, I had more energy.
Yeah.
But I think I was also exhausted because I would like teach a class, go to training for a different studio, and then like work all day. So it's like that's exhausting in and of itself. But my skin, I would definitely say like my face, I wouldn't get like little, I don't get acne, but I wouldn't get like little clogged pores or pimples as much as I used to. Just because when you eat sugar, it literally destroys your skin.
Yeah.
Sugar is so bad for you. And I'm saying this, which is funny because like I'm literally going to have a sugar party tonight. We're doing like a Galentine's. But it's like all sugar. And I'm excited and I'm going to do it and it's going to be awesome. But I know that it's going to have repercussions on my body. I would say the first thing I introduced was alcohol, like I told you guys. And while it didn't hurt my stomach, the next morning I was just like, ugh. After one drink, I was like, ew.
I still haven't drank since
I feel
the
gross.
WHOLE30.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, alcohol is literally a poison, so take with that what you will. Yeah. I think it's fine if we never drink a day in our lives again because it's so bad for you, but sorry, I love my margaritas.
So should we do it again? Or would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely. I would do it again. 100%. It doesn't have to be in January. I think it's a really good time for a new reset because like I
was going to say, I do it again. Like I do it like once a year.
I agree. January?
Yeah.
How many podcasts ago did we say we may do the WHOLE30? Like so many podcasts ago.
Yeah, that was like in July.
We said maybe in January we'll do the WHOLE30.
Yeah.
We killed it. We
did.
You're hurting my hand.
Oh.
So we're going to do it next January and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, and I think for all the reasons that we said, like why we should do it again, just the benefits that we've seen. I know that there's a ton of other benefits for people who may be dealing with stuff more severe, like more severe digestion issues, more severe skin issues. So I would highly suggest it. Just do some research. Yeah. And it was great. And I think we've learned a lot, and hopefully you've learned a lot from our retelling of the experience. Hopefully it seems more attainable, but also it's something that, you feel like that you can accomplish and do because anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short.
It's funny because I feel like we kind of like spoke sort of negatively about it a little bit, but I truly.
Well, we're being realistic about it. Everybody's like, oh, like I did this diet and now I can fly. Like I
think it's the type of thing where we want to tell you guys like the raw truth of what we experienced so that when you do it yourself, you're not getting into it and you're like, I'm miserable. I wouldn't look at Justus and be like, I'm miserable. I want to end this. It's more just like, dang, I miss these things, blah, 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 blah. But I know it'll pay off. And so you have to trust the process. Like that is such a rich saying for something like this because I didn't really see the benefit until literally the last day with my skin, which is insane. It takes so much willpower. But we told you guys the raw stuff to encourage you that like, don't be stressed or discouraged if all of these things happen because it happened to us.
Yeah.
And definitely don't work out as much as you normally do, like lifting super heavy or like working out. Yeah. Definitely don't work out more than once a day. Walking is great, maybe not running. So just little tips and tricks that you'll learn if you do your research on it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the insight we can give.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.